So you will see that the devotees of the Lord, uh, uh, they are actually 24/7. They have services to do. In the previous class, I was telling you how Prabhupada engaged artists in drawing or making dharmas. Prabhupada engaged carpenters in making the altars and building the chariot for Jagannath Yatra. He made the architects build the temples, beautiful ISKCON temples. He also made intelligent managers and leaders to become Sankirtan leaders. Prabhupada arranged to purchase 6 long Greyhound buses in America, and they're taken by this one Kamaksha Maharaj and team, distributing books all over the country, day in and day out. If you see the people in America traveling in bus party, you hear the railway station, they don't halt anywhere. They only halt in the bus only. When they go, sometimes they go to a petrol bunk type of place, where they have only a tap there outside. The early morning hours, nobody's there. All people are gone to sleep. So these people have a hose pipe with them. They just put a hose pipe or something, and then they fill that water in the bus. And they also take the bathing in the same hose pipe. They just take the bath or under the tap. They just take a quick bath. Sometimes in the chill, cold winter season also, when other people are passing in the bus, they wonder, hey, these guys are taking bath under the tap, right in the road itself, side of the road. They cook in the bus only. They have Radha Damodar, they offer it the bhog at the Lord. And then Mangalarti is going on inside the bus only. And then they distribute the books. They go to universities, they go to companies, they go to people, shops. All day they distribute, at night they sleep. And the bus is actually like a moving temple. It's like a moving temple. The temple keeps moving from place to place. And in case you want to give some class to some people, you can open the back door and then people can come inside the bus. Some 20 people can sit. It's a big long bus it is. And can give a class, and then they purchase some books and they push off. They put it in university campuses like that. So, if you see the life of a devotee, devotee has a very highly positive engagement. That's very important to know, correct? No? So, they may be thinking devotee is an escapist because they don't know the life of a devotee. What is the life of? They have to come and watch the life of a devotee. In fact, the non-devotees, in fact, they escape from many responsibilities. How do you say? Sometimes they are doing fish catching. Any shastra say you have to catch fishes. Yeah, sometimes they're reading newspaper, which is all filled with information about dirty politics. And they publish thick newspapers, wasting so much, cutting down so many trees. And it is all political gossip or cinema gossip. And there are dirty pictures of cinema actors and actresses not properly dressed. So they pollute their minds and pollute others' minds. And it's a colossal waste of time reading all the cinema magazines and newspapers and everything, watching TV. Why they watch TV? For relaxation. Devotees never watch TV because they have no time. Where do you have time to watch TV? Nor are we interested in watching TV even if you have time, because we never do anything that is useless, waste of time. Everything we choose to do will be very meaningful, purposeful, something related to Krishna, otherwise we will not do. So, and there are many guys going in the train playing cards. Have you ever seen devotees playing cards? As soon as they sit in the train, they'll open the Bhagavatam. That's the time they get to study. They will read the Bhagavatam. Or they are going and distributing books in the train, one hand to another hand. So either they are doing Janma Sarthaka Kori or they are doing Karapara Upakara. One moment they will not waste. And there are also other guys, who are hunting for women, chasing after women, writing letters, getting into trouble, getting beaten up also sometimes. So devotees don't have time for these things. So if you actually see who is escaping from there, there are 3 levels. One is irresponsible fool, who is a materialist, who is indulging in all kinds of sinful activities and deviant activities, wasting his life and time. Then there are materially responsible people. Then there are spiritually responsible people. So devotees are in which category out of the 3? Spiritually responsible people. And so they are responsible to God and to society also. They are doing a lot of good for the society, teaching values to the children, giving them the culture, giving them good habits, and making the society a peaceful place. In fact, they are uniting the whole world. There are 120 countries that come together in the Golden Jubilee ISKCON in Calcutta and Mayapur. And they all took their flag and went on a Harinam Sankirtan towards that Victoria building. So that you find that ISKCON is able to successfully unite practically 120 countries of the world, all with all different flags, but all of them chanting Hare Krishna. So the devotees are not only working locally, they are also working globally also. So devotees are spiritually responsible for their own spiritual lives and for the spiritual lives of all the other children of God in all parts of the world. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. They are actually really bothered and concerned about the sufferings of the world, and they are actually mitigating the sufferings by teaching people to lead a life of proper habits, culture, character, behavior, and spiritual surrender. Through that, they are bringing about a mass of change in the degraded civilization in the world. And on the other hand, there are some people who are materially responsible for their wife and children and mother and father, which is good. But at the time of death, the material responsibility can only, the dharma can give you heaven or something. Or maybe one more lifetime where you may be handsome, you may be born in a well-to-do family, but you will not go back to Godhead. Because material responsibility is different from only spiritual responsibility. So one has to fulfill material responsibility in this world, but at the same time, if you don't care for spiritual responsibility, then you don't elevate. Material responsibility is like a duck. Spiritual responsibility is like a swan. It's vertical. If you do spiritual responsibility, you go up. If you do only material responsibility, you remain like a duck, 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 buck, buck, buck. It's making sound. Going on the ground level only, it will never fly. But which one flies? Swan. So therefore, for Arjuna, Krishna told him, Ma Manusmara, Yuddha. You should do both. Yuddha means material responsibility. Ma Manusmara means swan. Spiritual responsibility. You have to combine both, he told him. Do your duties in this world, but don't forget your duty to God. One boy asked the question to His Holiness Jayadeva Maharaj. Maharaj, is it not my responsibility to take care of my father and my grandfather? Many of these Hare Krishna devotees, they are dedicating their lives to ISKCON, and all the time they're saying Krishna, Krishna. But I am more worried about my father and grandfather. And Maharaj asked him, what about your greatest grandfather? Maharaj asked. Then he asked, Maharaj, who is that? That's Krishna, he said. Because Krishna is the father and father of father of father of, he's the greatest grandfather. So you are making a program for your father and grandfather. Why don't you include Krishna also in that? And said, and then he thought for a while and said, yes, Maharaj, that's a good idea. So I'll include Krishna also. And then he said, he's not only the greatest grandfather, he's the source of all your fathers. Isn't it? He's the original father. He's the Aham Bija Bharata. And Krishna says, what that was? Mata Dhata Pitamaha. Mata Dhata Pitamaha. He's saying, I'm your mother, I'm your father, I'm your Prapitamaha also. Pita Ahamasya Jagato. Mata Dhata Pitamaha. See, I am your father, I am your Pitamaha also. He's saying, I am Vapanubhap, father of fathers also. Yeah. Pita Ahamasya Jagato, Mata Dhata Pitamaha. Vedyam Pavitra Mokar Amrit Samayajare. There he says. So, in this way, when we talk about the horrible nature of material world, it is considered incomplete if you only are aware of the sufferings in the material world. There's a famous verse, Daivi hiye shagunamayi mamamaya. If you hear only that much line, you will undergo psychosomatic depression. If you hear only the first line, then you have to be taken to your psychiatrist. But Hare Krishna devotees talk so much about the horrible nature of the material world. Why are they so cheerful? They're happy because they know the second line. What is it? Mameviye prapadyante mayametam tarantite. So Krishna says that although material nature is very horrible, there is another nature which is spiritual world where I personally exist, Krishna says, along with my purest devotee Radharani and the gopis and the gopas and Vrindavan and everything. And that's a beautiful world. And here there is a cycle of birth, world, disease, death. There is no birth, world, disease, death there. Everything is eternal, everlasting. Water is like nectar. And nobody walks there, everybody dances there. Nobody talks there, everybody sings there. And water is like honey there. And everybody is non-envious. Everybody is seva bhav they have. And everybody considers everybody else to be better than themselves. And people have no propensity for sense gratification at all there. And everybody keeps Krishna at the center. And in this material world, people brag about their greatness. There in spiritual world, everybody glorifies Krishna's greatness. Correct, no? So when one hears about it, it's a diametrically opposite world. It's a original world. So the more you know information about that spiritual world and the Supreme Lord who is Sambhutim there, Purusha sa parah partha, Bhakti, there's one verse later on will come. I think 15th chapter you'll read, I think. So there is a Purusha there. Which Purusha is he? Purushottama, Lord. Who is the Sambhutim? He is a permanent. So when you know about him, his nature and the spiritual world, then your knowledge is considered complete. Otherwise, your knowledge about the horrible material world alone, it will make you like a Buddhist. Buddhists are the most frustrated people in the material world. They want to get rid of material body. They say desire is the root cause of all evil. They want to get rid of all desires, and therefore you find them renouncing everything, and they live like a stone. And that is actually not the ultimate goal of life. Anandamaya is not to become a stone. Anandamaya means you have to become fully conscious. So therefore, our Vaishnava philosophy teaches us, don't stop the material desires, transform them into spiritual desires. That is the point. Like your eyes are given to you, so you don't have to stop seeing. Don't close your eyes like there are three monkeys. Buramat deko, buramat tuno, buramat bolo. Don't just shut your senses, but use your senses for doing the right thing. Like, with your eyes, you see the beauty of the deities. With your ears, you hear the Krishna Katha. With the mouth, you glorify the Lord and eat prasadam. Or you chant the holy name. Right? So, in this way, The positive spiritual engagement for your senses will make your knowledge complete. Therefore, in this verse it says, Sambhutim cha, Vinasham cha. Like that it says. So, Vinasham is the material world, and Sambhutim is the eternal, permanent. When you know both, then your knowledge is considered complete. Then you can say, Yasmin Vijnate Sarvamevam Vijnatum Bhavati. By knowing Krishna, you know everything. Otherwise this knowledge would really lead to kind of loneliness, depression, hopelessness, and the material world, the material energy will make you more and more stressed and frustrated and burdensome for you. But this knowledge is very important. Some people are trying to give many motivational talks, trying to make you believe that the material world is not all that bad. That is one category of people. They will say, try to have hope in life. See the positive side of material life. Everything will be all right. If one tooth falls this side, don't worry, another tooth is all right. That's what they say like that. But that also will fall eventually. Eventually all that you do will fall. So these guys are cheaters because they are, the metal bodies are falling away phenomenon and they are trying to give you false hopes in that. Therefore all this modern day, what do you call it, people who are lifestyle talkers and life coaches and all these people who are not spiritualists, who only talk about how to make this material world a better place. It's like saying that, the toilet is not all that bad. If you put wood on it, it's all right to live there. Material world is a toilet block. If you go to a toilet block, what do? You pass through and run out of the place. Don't stay there. But what they are saying, no, you can stay in the toilet, you can read also, you can play also, you can stay also. But it's stinking now. Don't worry, you can put some odonil. Odonil gets over, put one more odonil. This is the solution. So we are not fools to be fooled by such kinds of bogus talkers. They're cheaters actually. Cheaters of the highest order because they give you false hope in the material platform. Material platform is a tottering platform. Kamala dala jala, jivana talamala. Bhajahu haripada nitire. Krishna's lotus feet alone is a permanent place. Krishna's lotus feet alone is the safest place. Krishna's lotus feet alone is the eternal place. Like we said, Nitaya Charana Satya, Ahara Sevaka Nitya, he says. The Charana Satya, the truth is only the Lord's lotus feet. And if somebody teaches you any other shelter to be safe other than Krishna's shelter, they are simply cheating you. Because there is only one more shelter other than Krishna's shelter, which is even more safe than Krishna's shelter also, which is devotee shelter. Because devotee will take you to Krishna only. If one takes the shelter of a pure devotee, then the pure devotee leads one back to Krishna only. In fact, a pure devotee is more easily approachable than Krishna also. Otherwise, in this world, one shouldn't hear those fools who are cheating us, giving false hope in material world. For example, like our insurance companies may say that Yogakshema Mahamyaham, you put money with us, we will save you. And the police people are saying, we will save you. Many a times, if some thieves are coming and looting a place, ransacking a place, breaking down everything, shooting people and going, and you call the police will exactly come 2 hours later just to note down everything and go. And they are not there when you really need them the most. You've seen that? So in the material world, people depend on the police, people depend on the doctors, people depend on the commandos, or people depend on the medicines, people depend on the bank balance. So you will find that these are all shelters, but these are temporary shelters, false shelters, here today, gone tomorrow shelters. They will be here today and gone tomorrow. So how long are you going to hold on to it? It is temporary. It's simply a sandcastle built in the seashore. You make a sandcastle in the seashore, it's only a matter of time, the waves will come and wash it away. When the waves come very near, you have to run away. And you find the castle you made is washed away. Similarly, in this world, making these false shelters is like making sandcastles in the seashore, which is washed away. So, therefore, an intelligent devotee of the Lord will never seek false shelters, any of the false shelters for remaining safe. Rather, a devotee of the Lord will go beyond these false shelters and go to the real shelter. Samashita ye padapallava plavam mahat padam punyesho murare bhavambudir vatsapadam param padam yat vipadam natesham. The devotees of the Lord do not try to make themselves safe in the material world by taking some false shelters. Why? Padam yat vipadam natesham. In every step there is some danger or other in this world. There are dangers from various agents. Like the danger from our own body with diseases and old age and death and all that. There are dangers from thieves and murderers. There are dangers from animals like lions and tigers. And even it's not that you need to have a big lion or tiger to come and chase after you. You may say they live in jungle, I'm not afraid. But one virus is killing people now. And such a tiny virus you can't even see with eyes, except that you're seeing on a computer screen, big circles with something protruding out. You're not seen with your eyes otherwise. But this tiny virus, simply by touch, it is going from one person to another and killing people. So in this way, you will find living in the material world means there is a danger at every step. Prabhupada says danger must be there. You put yourself in a dangerous position. So There are dangers from other creatures, dangers from our own body, dangers from devatas sent through natural calamities. So when one observes the world, one should know that this is a condemned place and it is not a place where I should make a permanent settlement. I should not worry about permanent settlement. There is a saying in Bible also. Jesus, while talking, see, every religion talks about it. In Bible, he says that do not strive for the wealth that will be eaten by moths, stolen by thieves, rusted by wind. Three things he says. Which means every religion talks about it. Bhogeshwarya prasaktanam taya apakrita chetasam. Same thing Jesus also says. Do not strive for wealth that will be eaten by moths. Like you have seen this beams. Sometimes it's eaten by termite. Suddenly one day the beam collapses. And you are wondering, it's such a thick stout beam. Inside it is kokla, hollow. Why? Because inside it has become eaten by moths, termites. Yeah. So therefore, he says, don't aspire for these material things, big palaces and comforts and luxuries and beautiful women and golden chariots and big palaces and vast lands to rule, nice eatables, big bungalows, big positions and posts and big following of people. So all these things will actually, they are all like a phantasmagoria, like a cloud in the sky. Yeah, the cloud comes and stays for a while, then after some time the cloud, sky is completely clean. You don't find a little cloud also. So all these things will come to you and they will all be taken away from you. They come too close to you and they are taken away from you. Don't get enamored by this glittering illusion, he says. So in this way the material, that's what he's saying, padam padam yat vipadam natesham. In the material world, everything will vanish in the moment at the time of danger and death. So on the other hand, he's saying, Samashitaye pada pallava plavam mahat padam punyesho murari. At Murari, Krishna's lotus feet is the safest and the soothing shelter, which once you attain it, then there is no question of going down again, going back again. So therefore, this verse is actually emphasizing on this point between what is permanent and what is temporary. If you know only temporary, your knowledge is incomplete. When you know temporary and permanent, then knowledge is complete. If somebody says give up material desires, that is only half-baked knowledge. If somebody says engage in spiritual desires, then it is complete knowledge. And the beauty of engaging in spiritual desires is so good that, like one boy has asked a question. We are doing this program for the youth, big number of youths all across the country, online. So one boy is telling, sir, please tell me how I can get rid of the thought about woman. It is haunting me. And several times I got kicks, but I am unable to give it up. So the best thing is, like we say, an idle man's mind is a devil's workshop. Your mind is becoming devil's workshop because you are keeping it empty. Now take up such a Krishna service that you will not have one moment also available. Then where is the question of such a thought? Like the ISKCON temple program, you can see the time you get up in the morning, you run to the bathroom, and all the while keep feeding nice spiritual philosophy also. Keep hearing from Prabhupada's lecture, correct? No? Take a bath, put the tilak, run to the temple, worship the deities, or take part in the dancing kirtan, chanting and hearing the class, going out and distributing books, doing Harinam Sankirtan, calling people, counseling people, caring for people. You want to do sense education, but what is the problem? No time. There's no time only. Isn't it? So you have filled your mind with inert gases like argon, krypton, xenon. If you put them, then all the traces of oxygen are also driven out. Otherwise, creating vacuum in the mind is very difficult. What Buddhists try to do, creating a vacuum. Only removing material desire without substituting it with spiritual desire is a very useless thing, tough thing also. Again, it will go back to square A. But if you fill up your mind with spiritual desires and spiritual activities, that's one very easy way. You will not even know where the material desires went because there is no time for them. And another beauty of material desires is, if you don't regularly attend to them, you are not watering those creepers. By not watering those creepers, what will happen to them? They will dry up. They'll dry up. Actually, when I was very young in my spiritual life, I came to Krishna consciousness in 1991. 3 years I was coming to temple. In 94 I joined. So 94 February I joined. And 95 August I was sent to Pune, from Bombay to Pune. That means how many? 1 year, 3 months only. 1 year, 3 months I was in Bombay temple. And I was sent to Pune. I started youth preaching. In 97 I was made a president. That means within 3 years of my temple, ISKCON temple stay, I was given presidentship. So I asked my spiritual master, Maharaj, generally after 10, 15 years they make someone a president. And they have put me, like there's a saying in English, blind uncle is better than no uncle. That's how they have been put. But can you think of somebody else? Maharaj said, no. You can do it. You do whatever best you can. You do it. So I was very young. So, but why I'm telling you, because I was made a president at a very early stage, I had to take anxiety for running a temple monthly for 18 lakhs we were spending monthly. And suddenly where will the money come from? So day in and day out, I'll be sitting with paper, pen and planning and putting in the computer, calling devotees, taking meetings. Sometimes there are meetings all day and then evening they'll tell you have to give Brahmacharya class also. And next day morning some Bhagavatam giving devotees sick, so I have to give Bhagavatam class also. Like that. So in this way, I was only busy with two things only. One is either I was taking management meetings and delegating services and engaging devotees. Another thing I was very busy with studying Shastra and repeating. And the third thing, which is a very famous one in the material world, I had no time for it. What is it? Sense gratification. There is no time. And how last 20 years have passed it. Now 22 years have passed in Pune. 1997 to 2000, almost 23 years have passed. How the time passed, I don't even know. So one of the ways we can escape from the worldly allurements and sense gratification is just show your back to them. Show your back to what? Back to the sense gratification. When sense gratification rears its ugly head, you show your back to them like this, and then you become busy with Krishna service. That's the greatest intelligence. And you don't even know how the years pass. And the years will just go. But if you are very honest and faithful to sense gratification, say, Salam sir, please sense gratification, take me, engage me in your service, you'll be dragged. And then you'll be kicked and slapped and whipped and punched and pounded and buried ultimately. And you have no more spiritual life. And that has happened to many people, you know that. Because they did not keep themselves completely busy and preoccupied in fulfilling the instruction of Guru and Krishna faithfully. Because they were showing their front to sense gratification. One has to show the back to sense gratification. Instead of becoming Bahirmukh to Krishna, we had become Bahirmukh to Maya. Become Bahirmukh to Maya and show your face to Krishna, devotees, ISKCON, Prabhupada, spiritual engagements. In fact, therefore, you have to know both. You have to know about Krishna, you have to know about Maya, how tricky Maya is, in what way she comes, how we should not get fooled by her, how we should be alert and attentive, how we should show back to her, not the front to her. All that we have to learn. On the other hand, you have to know about, Krishna is so sweet, Krishna is so wonderful, Krishna is eternal, is permanent, is everlasting. Once I attain him, there is no more coming back. And his most worthy object to attain is Artadam. So then once you consider Krishna to be weighty, then in that direction you can run. So you have to know both how futile and useless Maya is and how worthy and valuable Krishna is. So therefore then it is Sambhutim cha Vinasham cha Yastat Vedo Bhayam Saha. Then only your knowledge is considered complete. Yeah. Go ahead.
On the material planets, everyone from Brahma down to the ant is trying to lord it over material nature, and this is the material disease. As long as this material disease continues, the living entity has to undergo the process of bodily change.
Actually, this is a very important theme in the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna reveals one very important shloka. Purusha prakritisto hi bhungte prakritijan gunan karanam guna sangosya sadasat yoni janmasu. So, Purusha, actually living entity is not Purusha, it's Prakriti. But Krishna is ridiculing all the jivas who have come to this world by calling them as the tiny imitator Purusha. Who are we? Tiny imitator Purusha. Just like, for example, the father is a man, but the small boy is a small kid who is trying to imitate the father. Sometimes the son goes to his father's hospital and takes his apron and takes a stethoscope. If some patients are coming, he takes a stethoscope and says, I will test you. What does he know? He's just bluffing. And father may sometimes be very happy to say, hey, look at my son. He looks like a doctor. He may click a photo also. But the son doesn't have any knowledge of MBBS or MD books. He's a small kid. He's just imitating the father. Or sometimes a little girl is asking the mother, Mom, why is your belly so big? And the mom may say, oh, there is a baby inside. So after some time, you will get a younger brother or younger sister in another 3 months, 2 or 3 months. So, oh, really? Baby will come out of your belly? Then the child thinks, so I will also keep a pillow in my belly. Now how I look like? I also look like you? Now I will wear your chappal, big chappal I will wear, and I will keep a pillow in my belly. Will I get a baby like that? So it is just imitation, correct? No? The girl is imitating the mother, or the boy is imitating the father. Similarly, the jiva is imitating. Prabhupada is giving an example, like in one park when they were walking, Prabhupada is saying, see, your girl is riding a horse. She was riding a horse, but she was wearing pant and shirt. She was wearing. So just because she is wearing pant and shirt doesn't make her man. The woman is the woman only. And one woman asked Prabhupada in one of the places, I don't remember where it was. She asked, why you don't treat man and woman equally? Prabhupada said, spiritually we treat them equally. They have equal rights to come to temple, bow down to Lord and do seva. That they have equal rights. But Prabhupada said, on a material plane, they are not equal. And then Prabhupada said, two differences Prabhupada said. One is, you see, a girl becomes impregnant. But the man doesn't become pregnant. Like sometimes a girl is gullible, so the man may impregnate her and run away. then the child comes out and the girl has to take care of the child. And she becomes a burden for the government, Prabhupada said. So this is one difference, he said. And another difference, Prabhupada said, you see, a 16-year-old boy can travel all over the globe, anywhere he wants, singly, alone. Can a girl travel like that? Imagine if a young, good-looking girl says that I'm going on a world tour alone, without anybody. Is it safe for her? And everywhere she will be caught, she will be raped or exploited by people. And therefore Prabhupada said, and then Prabhupada told her, like, you are here now. If I catch your hand, what will you do? You say, can, you will say, you can't do anything because you have a weak body. Physically you are weak. On the other hand, he said, a man actually can defend himself. Nowadays, even women are also trying to learn karate, kung fu, and some self-defense and all that. They grow nails and all that. But ultimately, you will see that the woman's physique is made a bit weaker compared to man. Yeah. So therefore, the protection of man is arranged by God. For the little girl, there is father. For a grown-up girl, there is a husband. Like that. Yeah. So there is, in the same manner, the jiva is by nature weaker compared to the Supreme Lord. Supreme Lord is Purusha, and we are Prakriti. Like we have inability, we have insanity, we have the four defects, errors, and we have cheating propensity. So we are, and we are gullible. We are oftentimes, like the jiva is fallible, but Supreme Lord is never fallible, is infallible. The jiva, by being very tiny, like a spark can be extinguished by a glass of water. If you throw a glass of water on a spark, it can be extinguished. But if you throw a bucket of water in the sun, can you extinguish it? Never it can be extinguished. That's the difference between Krishna and jiva. Sannyasi chit karna jiva, surya kirana sama, Shadaishwarya Purna Krishna Hoya Suryopama. That's a beautiful verse. He says, Sannyasi Chitkana Jiva. Even if you take a sannyasi, a liberated soul, he is not a Purusha. He says, why? He is a Chitkana Jiva. He is a tiny Jiva. Surya Kirana Sama. He is only like a Surya Kiran. Whereas who is Krishna? Shadaishwarya Purna. Krishna, he is saying. He is full in 6 opulences. Hoya Surya Upama. He is saying. He is like Surya, we are like Surya Kirana. But this foolish Jiva thinks, Purusha Prakritistohi, seated in this Prakriti, made of body, made up of this Prakriti, Purusha Prakritistohi, Bhungte Prakriti Jan Gunan. Prakriti Jan means born of the 3 modes. All the products of the material world are all pain-producing products. Every product in the material world is it's like pregnant with pain. Pregnant with pain means just like a lady is pregnant with a child. When 9 months happens, she will drop a child out. Similarly, all the products in this material world are pregnant with suffering. So you try to touch them to enjoy them, they will deliver you what? The moment you touch, immediately they are going to deliver you pain. All the products are made like that. Of course, initially you will not know. Initially it will look like enjoyment, eventually it will deliver you pain. That's the way the world is created. These are all called Prakriti Jan, Gunan, which are the material world products are made of 3 gunas. 3 gunas are pain producing, the material world. So if you are trying to associate with the 3 gunas, we will certainly have to, unfortunately most jivas are foolish. So they chase after the fire of material existence like the moth chasing after the fire, correct, no? After they get roasted, they realize, alas, I got roasted. Most of the jivas. So the intelligent ones are few. So who turn to Krishna, who turn to spiritual life intelligently. Otherwise, the jivas are all misled by Maya to misery. Therefore he is saying, Purusha Prakriti Stohi, Bhungte Prakriti Jan Gunan. Actually, Bhungte word is very important because it tries to enjoy. Like sometimes people are walking in the road, they are making this pakoda, you have seen that? In a big oil thing they have. Sound is coming when they are putting pakoda. And bhaji also. And kama, smell is coming. Bhaji smell, pakoda smell. They make it on the road only so that all the passers-by will get the smell, yeah. And then the shop, if you see, it is crowded. Shop means what shop? They just put 2 benches, one this side, one this side. People sit with paper like this, some pakoda, bhaji they take. And then they keep eating samosa. Okay, one more, they eat. Although it looked very nice smelling and very delicious for the tongue, next day morning they will have severe stomach pain. You seen that? It looks very attractive. Bhungte, when they do bhungte, then what happens? Then they have to suffer. And then he's saying, Karanam, Guna Sangosya, Sad Asadi Yoni Janmasu. Sad Yoni means auspicious births which can lead you to liberation. Like a demigod body or a human body. It's called Sad Yoni. Asad Yoni means animals and birds and reptiles and all those other creatures. So that's what he's saying. Again, read that on the material planets.
On the material planets, everyone from Brahma down to the ant is trying to lord it over material nature. And this is the material disease. As long as this material disease continues, the living entity has to undergo the process of bodily change.
That bodily change is Sada Sadyoni Janmasu. Correct, no? Sometimes the living entity is condemned to become a dog or a god. God means demigod. Sometimes he is blessed to become a demigod or condemned to become a dog. When he is seated in the body of a dog because he did some lusty activities in the previous life, now he became a dog now. So he barks and he behaves like a dog. The swabhava of the dog comes and the living entity identifies that I am a dog now, I have to bark now. and have to chase after the other dog or whatever. He lives like that. And somebody becomes a demigod, then they are ascending to higher urdhvam gacchanti sattvastha. So in this way, he is saying that the material world afflicts us again and again if you have this material disease to lord over. That means oppositing of lording over is becoming a servant of the servant of the servant in spiritual life, and chanting the holy name and aligning with the spiritual life. And then one can get purified and go back. If we refuse to purify our heart, then we have to again come back again and again. Go ahead.
Whether he takes the form of a man, demigod, or animal, he ultimately has to endure an unmanifested condition during the two devastations, the devastation during the night of Brahma and the devastation at the end of Brahma's life.
And there are more devastations apart from these two also. The first devastation that happens in our life, pralaya, is our own death. So that's only 60, 70 years, 80 years. After that, there is one pralaya for our body. Then there is one more pralaya that happens in Kali Yuga, post Kali Yuga. That is a small pralaya. It's a local pralaya. It is not in all the planets. So that is not included in this. So pralaya for material body, which happens birth after birth. That's the shortest duration, correct? Shortest duration. If you are in Satya Yuga, after 1 lakh years it will happen for you. Whereas if you are in Kali Yuga, it's only 100 years only. So our bodily pralaya, first one. Actually, body pralaya is also painful, correct, no? Because all of us consider our body to be very dear to us. Very dear. I told you in one of the classes, remember? Even one finger we are not ready to forego in the body for amputating. It is so dear to us. So, but we have to leave the body and all the relatives, friends, and the family situation. Generally, in this world, you will see the living entities actually are used to a certain situation and they don't like change. Like you are all sitting in a chatai comfortably. If somebody pulls a chatai, you are not comfortable. But sometimes you agree for becoming uncomfortable, provided they are going to give you a better facility. If they tell you that I will remove the chatai and give you a gadda, how many of you will agree? If they give you a nice gaddi, comfortable or more comfortable. So you may agree for a change. Correct, no? But I imagine after half an hour again the person comes and says, Prabhuji, some life members have come, I need the gaddi now. So he is taking out the gaddi. And then he is saying that, Prabhuji, now I put the chatai back. And in case the number of people coming are too much, then I'll take chatai later. So how many of you will say, now chatai also I don't want? Correct, no? Because in the first there was chatai, then he gave gaddi. Now he's putting chatai back. After some time he's going to ask for chatai again. So you feel very uncomfortable. So you would rather prefer to sit on the ground only. What is the advantage of sitting in the ground? Nobody will remove it. Correct, no? So we all decide which one, permanent or temporary. Jiva has a desire for a permanent situation. We don't like changes at all. But changing this material body is not only an uncomfortable thing, it's a very painful thing. It's the most painful thing because we are all attached to our mother, father, brother, sister, family, friends. So this is the biggest pain is there in that point because we have to be separated from them. And apart from them, that is called Mahamoha. There is also another thing is Moha. Attachment to who? Our own body. It's my body, my beautiful face, my heroic achievements, everything. So we have to leave all that. Every jiva is having a aham bhava that I am great in this, I am great in that, like that. So that ahankar, to the degree it is stout, to that degree leaving the body is painful, to that degree. So this pralaya, chota pralaya, it's a small pralaya. Then at the end of Kali Yuga there is pralaya. And then at the end of, this is one Divya Yuga, correct, no? One Chatur Yuga is called one Divya. So 100 Divya Yugas make one Brahmas day. Then after that, 1,000. Sahasra Yuga Paryantam, Aharyat Brahmano Viduhu, Ratrim Yuga Sahasrantam, Teho Ratra Vidojanaha, Bhuta Grama Sevayam, Bhutva Praliyate, Ratri Agami Avashapartha. It says, in the night time everything is devastated. So that is the Pralaya is explaining here. Then that's called Pralaya, Kalpa Pralaya, Kalpa Pralaya, Kalpa Pralaya. And then Brahma's birth is called Mahakalpa. And Brahma's end, which is also the end of the universe also. That is called Mahapralaya. Mahakalpa, Mahapralaya. In between Kalpa Pralaya, Kalpa Pralaya, Kalpa Pralaya. So, and within that Kalpa Pralaya also, the Chota Pralaya I told you two more. Which are there? One at the end of Kali Yuga and another one after the material body. So totally how many? 4 Pralayas. Yeah. Yeah? Yeah, go ahead.
If we want to put an end to this process of repeated birth and death, as well as the concomitant factors of old age and disease, we
Sound
must...
is not coming, huh?
Hare Krishna. If we want to put an end to this process of repeated birth and death, as well as the concomitant factors of old age and disease, we must try to enter the spiritual planets where we can live eternally in the association of Lord Krishna or his plenary expansions, his Narayan forms. Lord Krishna or his plenary expansions dominate every one of these innumerable planets, a fact confirmed in the Shruti mantras.
Eko vashi sarvagaha Krishna idyah ekopi san bahuda yo vibhati yo avabhati.
Gopal Tapani Upanishad 1.3.21. No one can...
Yeah. Go ahead.
No one can dominate Krishna. It is the conditioned soul who tries to dominate material nature and is instead subjected to the laws of material nature and the sufferings of repeated birth and death. The Lord comes here to re-establish the principles of religion, and the basic principle is the development of an attitude of surrender to Him.
Yeah. So this is very important to understand. No one can dominate Krishna, or no one can dominate the material nature. So we have to understand what is this dominating material nature. You see, uh, some kind of arrangement is made for all the jivas to live in this world happily. That arrangement has to be accepted. By whom? By us. By all the jivas, correct now. So if you accept that arrangement, then you are allowed to live peacefully in this world. But even simply accepting the arrangement alone is not enough. Because you can live peacefully one life, but then death will come. In the meantime, the first step is to accept the arrangement given to you. And then within that arrangement, you have to prepare for going back to Godhead. Both are necessary. But there are living entities who never think about going back to Godhead and who do not accept the arrangement made. Rather, they protest against that arrangement. A practical example is, I heard in Akbar's time, Akbar was a very great patron of making many wonderful Hindu temples and all that in his times. Many temples are built, beautiful new temples are built. But the situation was not the same later. If his son, if you see Humayun, and Jahangir and Shah Jahan and Aurangzeb, when in that family, when it came, in that family also there is fratricidal wars between the family members. Like, I don't know who killed his father, I don't know, one of them killed his father. Shah Jahan, I think, Shah Jahan killed his father, I think, Humayun, I think. Jahangir, Jahangir. Yeah, his father is Jahangir, correct. So, then their family, son killing the father. Akbar's predecessor, yeah. Humayun, then Akbar, then Jahangir, then Shah Jahan. Correct. Anybody else in between? That's all. Okay. And then Aurangzeb, I think. So here, who killed whom? Our Aurangzeb kept his father in prison and he killed his brothers so that he can take up the rule. Similarly, one of them killed his father to take up the rule. So you'll find this kind of things. What I'm saying is, actually, in this world, there is facility for living peacefully. But there are living entities who will not be peaceful. They go from need to greed. They go from need to greed. Similarly, all living entities in the material world have come with contamination. But when that contamination is occupying the heart, lust, anger, greed, these three are the contaminations. So when one becomes too lusty, then one is not satisfied with his wife. Then he wants to pull another man's wife. Correct, no? Like Ravana wanted to do. Or one becomes greedy, then one wants to encroach on others' lands like Duryodhana did. Or you find Hiranyakashipu wanting to not just take another man's land, he wanted practically to be the controller of the whole universe. Correct, no? You want to dominate the whole universe. Dominate means what? Not only everything should be in my control, everyone should be in my control, in the whole universe. See, that's the difference between everything and everyone. Everything, when you say, it's unconscious. You don't get so much kick by that. But when everyone has to be under your control, that means all the conscious jivas have to be controlled by me. That's the controllership mentality Hiranyakashipu had. So, in this way, why all living entities cannot be under Hiranyakashipu? The reason is, he is not God. Actually, Krishna is the center, pivot of the whole universe. So everyone and everything is under whose custody? Krishna's custody. And it is also a perfect plan. Why? Because Krishna is not suffering from lust, anger and greed. And he is actually he has the most wonderful, his consciousness is like a garden of roses. If you see, like for example, he is a supreme lord, but he is driving the chariot of Arjuna. He is washing the feet of the sages in Rajasuya Yajna. And in the Ashwatthama's case, he didn't declare the decision. He allowed Draupadi to voice her opinion. You can see Lord Krishna's consciousness is so sublime, so friendly, and so much in the mood of a servant. So therefore he can be God. Correct? Why he is God? He is God because that's the meaning of God. You can keep him as the pivot of the universe because he cannot harm anybody. Whatever comes out of him is all love only. Therefore he is the center of the universe. So he is such a supreme personality. He can make everyone happy. Like you see in the pastime of Kaliya, Daman Leela, he drove Kaliya out of Yamuna. But that didn't make Kaliya morose because he told Kaliya that my footprints are on your head, so Garuda will not attack you. Garuda will treat you like a younger brother. So Kaliya went very happy. And in fact, Kaliya not only went happy, he even told the Lord, if you wish, anytime you call me back, I'll come and I will take you and covered boys for a joyride anytime. So he not only was all right with the Lord, but he made friendship with the Lord also. And Yamuna became happy. Why? Because no more poison. All the poison was removed from Yamuna. And covered boys were happy because they were dead and their parents were all crying. Now the boys came back to life, by Krishna's glance alone. And Yashodaranda became very happy. Why? Because Krishna safely came out of the water, is it not true? They were made happy. Nagapanis became happy. Why? Kalya was spared. Krishna spared the life of Kalya. Not only Krishna spared Kalya's life, he also made him give up his, envious and sinful mentality. He became a devotee, became submissive to Krishna. Now in their home there will be Mangalarti, everything will go on. Correct? Now the Kalya's wives are very happy. And he is not going to oppose. Now he will also wear tilak along with his wives. Correct? Now he has become a devotee now. So they became happy. So in this way, Krishna made whom unhappy in this pastime? Nobody. So therefore, Krishna should be the center of the universe. You understand? Because he has the ability to make everybody happy. And even if somebody is unhappy, for example, one example you can take, which is Indra, who became who became afflicted by his false ego, wanting to lord over the Vrajabasis. Even eventually, his ego was, Krishna removed, crushed. Krishna lifted the Govardhan mountain to remove the mountain of pride, which who had? Indra had. And by that pastime, without Krishna directly confronting his false ego, he made him become submissive. And then Indra surrendered to him. In fact, Indra was ready to give back his post also. Generally, Indra wouldn't give his post, correct, no? He will tell the Lord, my dear Lord, can I continue in the post with some slight, some instructions you give me? I will take care, please don't take away my post. Correct, no? That's what he might say. But in this case, what he said? Here is my resignation letter, my Lord, take it. And he took his mukut off and kept it. But Krishna said, no, wear the mukut again. He said, go back, my dear Indra, you may go now, but you continue to be Indra. You don't have to give up your post, but give up your pride. Give up your false pride, he said. And Indra became very happy because, he thought he'll be driven out of the post now for this big blunder he did. But he was allowed to continue as Indra, correct, no? So in this way, Krishna can make even an egoistic man happy, correct, no? He can actually cure his ego and make him happy. Indra said, my dear Lord, you are not just a controller, you are a spiritual master, he said. Spiritual master not only smashes your false ego, he also purifies you. You purified me and you elevated me. So in this way you will find why Krishna can be the Supreme Lord, because this is the heart he has a golden heart, and he is an embodiment of love. But the foolish jiva wants to lord over the nature by becoming an imitator of Krishna. What Krishna says, Maya Adhyakshena Prakriti. Now Prakriti is female, Durga, and Krishna is the Supreme Purusha. Now he is controlling Prakriti. So all the boys also want to control girls. That's the reason. Like some boy, if he can dominate a girl, how he dominates a girl? By telling a girl, come, I'll take you to canteen. I'll give you whatever readable you want. At the beginning of the semester, I'll give you all the books. I'll buy a bicycle for you. If his father comes to know, he will catch him by the ear and slap him. Am I giving you money for buying a cycle for your girlfriend? Isn't it? And you're buying and giving her books. You're like a dog wagging the tail and running behind her. But he is trying to lord over her by serving her. Correct? The purpose, if you don't serve Krishna, then you have to serve Maya. There's nothing in between. Actually, he is thinking he is lording over her, but actually what is he doing? Serving her. That's it. He is simply becoming a Krida Mriga, play dog, like a Krida Mriga, like a pet in her hands. And he is thinking that I will feed her nice food, I'll give her a nice cycle, I'll give her a calculator, I'll give her books. I think slowly she will become attracted to me, and then she will accept me. And she is the beauty queen of your college, and you are chasing after her. And then eventually you will find, there will be 10 boys lusting for her like this, and she will marry 11th boy and go away. You will see like this. And all these 10 boys are her dogs, who are wagging their tail and serving her. And they are thinking, what are they doing with her? I will control her, I will lord over her, I will dominate her. She will be whose? Mine. But this is only their imagination, correct, no? Very soon they will find she is no more theirs. As long as they were giving commodities, she was theirs. Now she has gone away. Now they have no connection with her. She will just get lost. Whereas it's not the case with Krishna. Krishna says, Maya Adhyakshena. Prakriti is putting salute to Krishna and serving Durga Mata. She is considered to be like a shadow. What is the verse? Srishtisthiti pralaya sadhana shakti reka chayeva yasya bhuvanani vivarti durga ichana rupam api yasya cha cheshtate sa govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. See, Durga Mata is assisting Krishna in 3 aspects: Srishti, Sthiti and Pralaya. In all the 3. In Srishti, you all know, she is receiving the seeds through the Shambhu glands of the jivas and giving them metal bodies. And in Sthiti, she is accepting the rains and producing the grains and fruits and cereals and giving to the jivas, who are Krishna's children. And in Pralaya, Shiva is doing Tandava, and there is a destruction. So she and Shiva are actually Ardhanarishwar. So she also, Durga conducts wars between countries and continents, especially when jivas become too atrocious. So she is assisting in all the three, Srishti, Sthiti and Pralaya. But she is a submissive servant of Krishna because Chaye Vayasya Bhuvanani, it is said. She is simply like a chaya. If you move the hand, the shadow moves. Like that she moves. So there is only one person who can lord over her, who is Krishna. Therefore 9.10 he says, Maya Dakshin Prakti. But the jiva foolishly tries to dominate her by becoming a scientist. Modern day scientists are also trying to dominate Durga. Oh, Durga, you are producing a very hot sun, you will have an air-conditioned room. Now the scientists are finding out, if you are in an air-conditioned room for a prolonged period of time, there are some diseases which are coming up. It's not very good to be in an AC room for a long time. So, similarly, people who are chronic meat eaters for a long period of time, now they're realizing in meat eating there are many complicated diseases which come because of not able to digest the meat. Now somebody gets obesity and all that, then the doctor tells them turn to vegetarianism now. Although it may be difficult for them to survive in only vegetarian, still they have to do it, correct now? See, the moment you try to do against your human law laid down by God, then you are going from need to greed. Then the problem starts. So we cannot lord over material world. Lording over means bhungte. Bhungte prakriti jnana. That is lording over. So no one can dominate Krishna. No one can dominate material nature. Therefore the Lord is coming here to establish the principles of religion. And the basic principle is development of an attitude of surrender to Him. This is the Lord's last instruction, which is Sarvadharman Parityaja. Read that further.
Give up all other processes and just surrender unto me alone. Unfortunately, foolish men have misinterpreted this prime teaching and misled the masses of people in diverse ways. People have been urged to open hospitals, but not to educate themselves to enter into the spiritual kingdom by devotional service.
This is a very important point. See, when you are facing problem, we can do two things. One is immediately run for a stopgap, temporary, urgent, immediate solution. And when that solution comes, you forget the eternal goal, ultimate goal. For example, so diseases are coming. So most of the rich people, they open hospitals. You will see that because they think that when you get disease, people suffer. And we don't want to see people suffering. So what is the easiest way they try to rectify the sufferings in this world? By opening hospitals. That's a short-term solution. But then you have to go to the root cause of suffering. Why there is suffering? Actually, we can prove. Some people are so foolish that they say, where is suffering in the world? I am happy. They say, no. Actually, therefore, in many of the youth classes, you ask them a question. Who is the doctor for the teeth? What is the name? Yes. Who is the doctor for the skin? Dermatologist. Who is the doctor for the brain? Who is the doctor for the bones? Who is the doctor for the eyes? Ophthalmologist, we call like that. Like that, you can go from the top of the head to the tip of the toe, all parts of the body you say, and there is a, which means every part can give you trouble. Correct, no? That's the conclusion you can come. Yeah? That means every part is capable of giving trouble. So that means there is suffering in the world. Otherwise, see, these guys are doing the medical MBBS, means they have job, correct? Otherwise, what will they do? They have job and they are earning money. That means people are suffering. You suffer from one disease, you suffer from another disease in this world. So, whenever we see the diseases in this world, seeing people suffering, most people who think we are all bodies, metal bodies, then what is the immediate solution they'll come to? Open a hospital and mitigate their suffering. That's an instant solution, correct? No? Immediate thing. But then, when you go for the solution, when people get cured, after you get healthy, what is the next thought comes in your mind? Sense gratification. That's very true. See, when we are healthy, we want to do sense gratification. When we get sick, we open hospitals. Then where is spiritual solution? So this is the material world. So opening hospitals, opening dharmashalas, giving people food, and all these things is simply like a painkiller. What is a painkiller tablet? It doesn't cure your disease. It only arrests your disease for a while, or it suppresses the pain that arises from the disease. Just like in this room, imagine somehow or other some rat died and it is stinking like anything. We want to hold the class in this room. But every day you come to class, like the smell is coming. Some dead rat smell. So if I ask any of you, hey, Prabhuji, what can we do? Can you suggest a solution? He said, Prabhuji, I think we can put odonil, I think, because smell will be gone. Good idea or not? You can put, no? Okay, but odonil. But after 3-4 days, what happens to odonil? It gets over. It gets consumed. Then what happens? Again smell will come. Then you put a second one, third one, fourth one. How many times you'll keep putting? So what is the best solution? Yeah, you move the cupboard, move the table, move the chairs. It may take 2-3 hours sometimes. Find out where the smell is coming from. At last you find, there's a rat. Huh? Here is a rat which is giving the smell. And then you throw it far away. Along with that, what will go away? Smell also will go. So you go to the root cause. That's the point. Don't solve the immediate cause. Go to the root cause. So the Vedas go to the root cause or immediate cause? Go to the root cause. So the root cause is the jiva has turned away from Krishna. That's the root cause. That's a verse. Janasya Krishnat vimukasya daivat adharmashilasya sudukkitasya anugraha yeha charanti nunam bhutani bhavyani janardanasya. So that verse says, Janasya Krishnat vimukasya. When the Janta turns away from Krishna, what is the result of that? Adharmashilasya, they become. And what is the result of being adharmashil? Sudukkitasya. Now, you want to become susukhitasya. If you want to make a dukkha into sukha, what you have to do? Instead of adharmashilasya, you should be dharmashil. So to be dharmashil, what you have to do with Krishna? Instead of Krishna vimukasya, you should become unmukasya. Seva unmukehi. Seva unmukehi jivado. So if you face towards Krishna, then you become dharmashil, then you become susukhitasya. But if you are doing janasya Krishnat vimukasya, then what happens? Adharmashilasya. Result is sudukhitasya. So obvious, very simple. So therefore, anybody who is seeing the suffering of the jivas should make a program to help the jiva to turn towards Krishna. That's a one-stroke solution and once and for all solution. There is no question of, any more suffering after that. You are putting a full stop to all sufferings. But most fellows they're short-sighted fellows. They can only try to solve the problem immediately with a painkiller. They cannot search for the medicine. That's why he's explaining this here. Like, when we were making the NVCC temple, one man was asking, Swami, इतना बड़ा मंदिर की क्या जरूरत है? He was telling, हमने बरगद के पेड़ के नीचे देखा है गणेश जी का छोटा छोटा मंदिर होता है, ऐसे भगवान के लिए छोटा बना देने का. He was telling. So then I asked him, अच्छा, I asked him, do you live in a small house like that under the tree, or you live in a big house? He said, how can we live in such a small? For God, we can make a small one like this, can make a small altar under the tree. And not a big temple, but I live in a independent bungalow, he was telling. Then I told him, see, in this world, everything changes when money comes to you. Correct, no? Like when you are in school, you use a bicycle. In college? In company? And if you are CEO of a company? You have a Benz car or a foreign car. Correct, no? That means the vehicle changes or not? As money comes more and more, vehicle also gets better and bigger and better. Correct, no? Same thing with house. Correct, no? If you are a middle class family, if you are a not middle class, if you are a poverty line, below poverty line, they live in chal. Correct, no? If you are middle class, they live in 2 BHK at least. Upper middle class, they live in 3 BHK, a row house. Correct, no? And if you are top class, like say Lakpati, Crorepati, they have their villa. Correct, no? They have their own villa. And opposite of Radha Kunjibari temple, there is one major general living there. In between 2 lanes, there is only one house only. Huge house with compound and garden and everything. The one house between 2 lanes. Actually, if you demolish the house and make many houses, almost 40, 50 people can live there. But only one person is occupying because the number 1 man in the army in India. That means the more you become big, you get bigger and better facility, correct, no? Like the Prime Minister of India, he is allowed to sit in the Parliament House in the Delhi. How huge it is, correct, no? That is his office. He's given a good facility like that. And also if he goes to any place, I heard that per day they spend 1 crore for all the security and special type of plane. He doesn't come alone. He has a lot of other people. There are some people who exactly look like him also. I heard that 20 cars will go, black cars. All of them, you don't know in which one PM is going, or President is going. But tremendous security they have, barricading and so many things like that. So therefore you will find for a Prime Minister or a President, such candidates, they will spend 50 lakhs or 1 crore per day for them. So as you become bigger, when your money is more, your facility is also. Same with food also. A beggar is eating sukha roti, dry roti. Isn't it? A middle class man eats certain type of food. Rich people eat. There are 3-star hotels, 5-star hotels, correct? 7-star hotels. Then I told him, this fellow, so even Lakpati, Karodapati, Arapati, even these people have bigger and better facility. But who is Krishna? What Pati? Lakshmipati. So I said this NVCC is a very small temple. It's like petty temple, like a matchbox. I told him. Because he is Ananta Koti Brahmanda Nayak. You cannot fit him in one Brahmanda also. He has how many Brahmandas? Unlimited. So this temple is the smallest temple we could provide him. I sarcastically told him like that because he thought it was a very big temple. So how envious the living entities are, you can see that. When it comes to God, they want to give him a small place under a tree. When it comes to that sense education, they want to have a big house, lavish house. Like one fellow in those days was telling, he took me to his house, newly built house. So we went to the house. And he was showing it's a long independent bungalow, long house. Whole house is made with marble. Some places brown marble, some places granite, some places white marble. And he took me upstairs also, same size of house. And they are a joint family, I think about 20, 30 people living in one house, and a huge family. Lot. So he was telling that he comes in that ancient lineage of Dadichi Muni. I said, then I told him, see, Dadichi Muni gave his bone for service of Lord Vishnu. He gave his life. And you are showing your house is very nice, made of marble. I am not telling you give your bones. At least something you should give to Krishna. Correct, no? Actually, it doesn't cross their head only, I have to give to God. I am telling about modern times. People don't even think about giving to God. And they are bringing a sadhu, showing a house. Look at me, look at my greatness, look at my beauty, look at the house. Kaise mein ji raha hu. And we are coming in the Dadichi Muni's line. Then I told him today's lecture will be on the Dadichi only. I told them the whole pastime of Dadichi. Dadichi was not known for having a big marble house. Dadichi was known for? Hmm? Yeah. He was known for serving Lord Vishnu by giving him his own life itself, but Devatas. With that only the Vajra was made, with whom they fought against Vritrasura. Yeah, correct. So, whole idea is we should not be just proud of our lineage, but we should also do something like what we have inherited from our lineage, correct, no? So, these are two opposite mentalities, enjoying versus serving. Serving Krishna, keeping Krishna at the center. Actually, we should feel delighted to keep the Lord in the center. He is my master. I am his servant. He is not only my master, master of everybody. He has millions of servants, and I am also one insignificant servant amongst them. And I will do little service, and my master will be satisfied. He is such a beautiful master that he pays attention to even the tiniest of the jivas. He doesn't see who is big, who is small. He treats everybody, giving them due attention. So gradually we have to bring Krishna to the prominent center of our heart. Make him the center of our lives, and we have to revolve around him. If we can make our consciousness understand this one point, we can be so jolly in spiritual life. Most of our moroseness and suffering comes because we are trying to be where we are trying to orbit around Krishna, or we want to be in the center. That is the main problem. Trying to be at the center. So there is a competition for being at the center, and center is the hot spot. And everybody tries to go that to the center, and when they are in the center, everybody shoots them. Everybody. Why? Because who should be at the center? I. Because another fellow is at the center, so what we will do? Shoot him. And after you have shot him, then what they will do? No, and again compete, and who will be at center? One of them will be. Then after he goes center, what others will do? Others will shoot. That's material world. Correct, no? Material world means everybody tries to be at center. I am the best speaker, I am the best singer, I am the best player, I am the best dramatist, I am the best leader. When somebody comes and glorifies another devotee to you, immediately what comes in the mind? Why do you glorify that person? I can also do that, correct, no? This kind of mentality comes. Because everybody tries to shoot somebody who is at the center and occupy that position. And after they have occupied, other guys will come and say, not like this, you are doing like this, I know better. And they will come. So the whole material world this is a business in material world. You struggle to come to the center, you come to the center, you'll be shot dead, and then you go and then another fellow comes. And this keeps changing. But spiritual world is not such a place. Spiritual world, Krishna is eternally at the center. And everybody around him wants to serve. They only have a seva bhava, service mentality. There is no mentality for lording over or exploiting. This is I'm spending so much time on this because it's a very fundamental thing. Purusha prakritisto hi. That bhungta is the real problem. And when we try to do bhungta, we try to come to the center, occupy the center. So we have to cultivate the habit of appreciating other devotees, being honest, honest about one's limitations. And one should also understand that, I may be trying to do something, but there are many other people endowed with many other talents. There can be hundreds and thousands of devotees talented differently by Krishna and doing many wonderful things. We should be able to appreciate them, not just think I am a great personality, I am a great soul, I am better than everybody. My devotion is very great. And so, therefore, that enjoying mentality. Go ahead. So he's saying people have been urged to open hospitals, but not educate themselves. Actually, we should make people sit down and listen to Bhagavad Gita, make them chant Hare Krishna, cleanse their heart, eat prasadam, take darshan of the deities, simply chant and dance in Krishna Kirtanam, and get rid of the bodily designations, thinking I am a man, I am a woman, I am Indian, I am Pakistani, I am American, I am Hindu, Muslim, Christian. Get rid of these mental designations. Realize your jiva rasar pohoi, Krishna Das. This is our duty, because if we do this foremost duty, by distributing Prabhupada books, as well as practicing and preaching, the whole society will truly transform. And Prabhupada did that also in his times. In just a short span of 12 years, he did magic. And now we have, whatever time we have, we should do the same. Because opening hospitals, opening schools, opening chatrams, opening annakshetras, these things are going to only give you stopgap temporary solution. They will not address the real need of the soul. This is all just temporary business. Go ahead.
People have been asked to open hospitals, but not to educate themselves to enter into the spiritual kingdom by devotional service. They have been taught to take interest only in temporary relief work, which can never bring real happiness to the living entity. They start varieties of public and semi-governmental institutions to tackle the devastating power of nature, but they
That is
don't
called
know.
refugees. After the flood comes, they have flood relief. During the flood times, they drop packets from the helicopter, correct, no? They do that. See, we are not against that. Okay, somebody is stranded in the flood and they have no food, they are dying. So you're dropping some food packets. But when His Holiness Indraduna Maharaj went to South India after the tsunami, he heard about it. Immediately, subsequently, the next week or so, he went. So he went to Lanka. I heard that. He saw the people who had suffered from the tsunami attack there. Some of their houses are all torn down. Some people have come to the street. So the other organizations were giving food and clothing and everything. So Maharaj with the team of devotees, they did kirtan. And all the people came and joined. Because there are many organizations coming and giving them food. Many are giving them clothes because they all know that there are some benefits also they get by doing this. Government gives them some tax benefits and other things and all. Many organizations want to click photos while doing relief for such refugees. So Maharaj is telling there are humpty number of organizations, but none of them are giving them the holy name. When Maharaj went and did kirtan, everybody told him that. Maharaj, actually everybody gave this, all right, but when we hear this, your kirtan and your talks, we realize that these are all sent to us by God. God is sending through these guys. We got this, but actually ultimately He is the ultimate giver of everything. Actually they said if we didn't get this suffering, you would have never joined the chanting of the holy name. And suffering is a good time to teach people to surrender to God. Because that is the time the jiva wakes up. He rubs his eyes and wakes up. What is this? I thought I am the enjoyer. Now I'm getting kicks now. What is the enjoyer getting kicks? Then he rubs his eyes and wakes up. And good time, you feed him with Mahamantra that time. Correct, no? Yeah, go ahead.
They start varieties of public and semi-governmental institutions to tackle the devastating power of nature, but they don't know how to pacify insurmountable nature.
Actually, pacifying, why Prabhupada used the word pacify? Because insurmountable nature appears to sometimes become wild. In the form of tsunami, in the form of corona, in the form of cyclones, like in Oregon, there were huge fires recently, just recently, last month only. Yeah, Oregon fires, New Orleans, Katrina, Rita, and all those. What do you call it? That hurricanes. Similarly, the ocean swelling and causing tsunamis. So, how can we pacify these natural calamities? What is causing them? Is because we are not watering the root of the tree. Like it is said, no, watering root of the tree is like doing yajna for the Supreme Lord's pleasure. Now, what is happening all over the world is people have become so dull-headed and they have become forgetful of the Lord's presence itself. Atheism has increased. Inhuman behavior of killing millions of animals in organized slaughterhouses and killing millions of babies in the womb, because men and women are connecting very intimately at very early ages in teenage. And instead of begetting children, they are aborting the children in a very large numbers. So this is increasing now. On one hand, the sinful life is increasing. On the other hand, the spiritual awareness program, the awakening of the soul, that is reducing. Some people may say, how do you say it's reducing? So many organizations have come now, they are teaching so many good things. No, they are not giving spirituality. They are teaching you how to do yoga so that you can have a healthy body to enjoy sense gratification. Better sex and better food. Now you do yoga. Most of the yogas teachers are nowadays teaching. If you have back pain, you should do this particular asana. If you have this particular disease in the body, because most guys are working in IT sectors and they get varieties of complications in the body. And they go to yoga institutes to mainly keep the body fit. Ask any person, any damn person doing yoga asanas. The first goal nowadays of doing yoga is they keep body fit, keep body healthy. You go to any of these IT areas, morning you will find fat women and fat men, they go for jogging, walking. Because when they eat junk food and rush to offices, eventually they get obesity. And they don't like obesity because people ask them, hey, you become too fat. They want to look slim. Correct, no? Slim and thin are not same. Slim means smartly thin. Correct, no? So they want to look slim, yeah. So therefore they start walking in the morning, correct? No? So people want to keep the body fit, and after the body is fit, what they want to do? Then make a lot of money, then enjoy sense gratification. So there is no program for going back to Godhead. Many of the organizations are teaching pranayama and also yogasanas, how to keep the body fit. Little do they talk about Lord Vasudeva and service to him, chanting of the holy name, and worshipping the Lord in the temple. Three things are very vital. Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Karo Krishna Shiksha. Bolo Krishna means we should teach everybody to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Therefore, when I go home to home for Bhagavatam distribution, I will never finish a class without telling about chanting Hare Krishna mantra. And also, at the end of the class, we worship the Bhagavatam and the Lord in the altar also. So that is Bhajo Krishna. And then we are giving them a Bhagavad Gita Bhagavatam, that is Karo Krishna Shiksha. These three are the ones we should make people do. If you do these three things, you are watering the root of the tree. Then the whole universe, material nature can be pacified. Now Durga Mata is very angry seeing the atrocious behavior of the foolish conditioned souls. She is thinking that I am providing all this food, clothing, shelter, everything to the jivas. They are eating and having a plumpy body to enjoy sense gratification. These guys, rascals and rogues, they are not turning to their Supreme Father Krishna, and they are turning away. Now let me give them solid. They are like, we say Latanka Bhoot, we say, no? Latanka Bhoot, Vatase Naimanta. So she is giving, material nature is becoming wild. She is getting very upset by our behavior. That's what Prabhupada used the word pacify. But they don't know how to pacify the insurmountable nature. See, they are pacifying the problems of the world by going for what solutions? Temporary solution. Like, see, it's such a foolishness. When people are suffering because of the nature bringing all calamities and that, instead of going to root, they are simply addressing the superficial problem. Like I told you, the blowing on the boil. Correct, no? If somebody gets, oh, you got a boil? Oh, I feel very sorry to see you having a boil and see you suffering. Somebody blowing. Are they doing a great service to you? What are they doing? Temporary solution. But after you stop blowing, what will happen? Again the pain. So better you tell the person, if you really love the person, tell him that go to the doctor. So going to doctor is going to Vaishnava Guru. And taking the medicine is taking the holy name. So, and taking the holy name is actually like curing the boil, either by a medicine or by injection or by a surgery or whatever. But to cure the disease, simply don't blow on the boil. It's a cheating process. All this kind of different social initiatives without Krishna consciousness, they are simply what? They are simply like blowing on the boil. It's a temporary solution. Yeah, go ahead.
Many men are advertised as great scholars of the Bhagavad Gita, but they overlook the Gita's message by which material nature can be pacified.
Powerful. Krishna says, Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suhridam sarva bhutanam jnatva mam shanti brichyati. How can you attain peace? Called peace formula. Three things. Understand Krishna is supreme enjoyer, which means the root of the tree. Secondly, he is sarvaloka maheshwaram. He is the master of all the lokas. Everyone and everything belongs to him. And Suhridam, he is a most well-wishing friend of everyone. So teach this to people and make them surrender to Krishna. Yeah, yes.
Powerful nature can be pacified only by the awakening of God consciousness, as clearly pointed out in the Bhagavad Gita 7.14.
What is that verse? Mamevi prapadyante mayamitantarnate. Yeah.
In this mantra, Sri Isopanishad teaches that one must perfectly know both Sambhuti, the personality of Godhead, and Vinasha, the temporary material manifestation, side by side. By knowing the material manifestation alone, one cannot be saved, for in the course of nature there is devastation at every moment. Ahani ahani bhutani gachantiha yamalayam. Nor can one be saved from these devastations by the opening of hospitals. One can be saved only by complete knowledge of the eternal life of bliss and awareness. The whole Vedic scheme is meant to educate people in this art of attaining eternal life. People are often misguided by temporary attractive things based on sense gratification, but service rendered to the sense objects is both misleading and degrading.
So he is saying people are misguided by temporary attractive things based on sense gratification. Actually, when they are suffering, they go for immediate relief like opening hospitals, curing the disease and all that. Once they are cured, they look for sense gratification and one is healthy. So then, then I told you like the previous class, they are opening SL World, Disney World, things like that, and they are going for a big tour, go to Bermuda or go to, we will go to see Niagara waterfalls. People just want to enjoy life. They just don't know what is the meaning and goal of life. So, but service rendered to the sense objects is both misleading and degrading, he's saying. Because, when you are in a diseased state, you should not try to enjoy. So your doctor tells you that you have typhoid, and 21 days, no oily items, which means no puri, no pakoda, no samosa, correct, no? No bhaji. 21 days, patya. So during the time of your typhoid, although you may have eagerness to eat those items in your home when it is made, what do you have to do? Restrain yourself because you have disease. So in a disease state, don't try to enjoy them. But once you are cured of the disease completely, 21 days are over, then you will be allowed to eat them. But now, in those 21 days, if you by mistake after 10 days you eat, then there is a relapse, we call it. It comes, instead of 21 days, it will become 50 days. It will become 100 days, or one may die also if one keeps eating too much. Correct? No? So that's what he's saying. We are all like conditioned souls, or like diseased souls. Already we are in diseased state, trying to enjoy more and more and more, we degrade more and more. Go ahead.
We must, therefore, save ourselves and our fellow man in the right way. There is no question of liking or disliking the truth. It is there. If we want to be saved from repeated birth and death, we must take to the devotional service of the Lord. There can be no compromise, for this is a matter of necessity.
Yeah, one last point. Some students say that, sir, this kind of surrendering to God is a little boring for me. You know, you know, my mind says watching movies, going for surfing in the ocean, playing games. This is more interesting for me. But if you tell me to come to temple and chant God's name, that is boring for me. Then I asked the boy, what about your engineering or medical study? Is it very interesting? If you see most children, if you call the school children and ask how many days you want holidays in a week, what they will say? 7 days. Children want to play all day, every day. Nobody likes to go to school. Do you think children like to carry the book bag and sit in the classroom, give the attendance and study and write assignment, homework notes? Nobody likes. But even in material life, there are two aspects in your material life. There is a playful side where you are given some freedom, enjoyment, nice eatables, going for outing, some entertainment and all that. There's a time for that. But can material life will be only entertainment all life? There's another side of your material life where there is responsibility, duty. You have to do your studies. Like, as the child grows into a boy and a man, then he marries, then he has to take responsibility for his wife and children and mother and father. Somebody is sick in home, he has to take them to hospital. Is there anybody who likes to go to hospital with your grandmother, sit with her for 2 hours there? Anybody likes it? And it's nasty smelling hospital. Then you have to go and spend because it is your duty. The duty calls you. You can't, because the material world is made in such a way that whether you like or not, there are certain things you have to. So, in material life also, you are forced to do things which you may not like to do. So, but keeping them in mind, in spiritual life, initially you may not like certain things, but if you do, it's better to do things in spiritual life which you may not like also. Why? Because this is paving way for your liberation. Whereas material duties don't liberate you, even though you may do it without liking also. You understand what I am saying? See, there is material entertainment, material responsibility, duty. But you want to do which one out of the two? Most boys want to do what? Only entertainment. Like boys go to college, fathers put them in the college. They want to drink, smoke, and roam with girls in the college, but that will not make them earn a degree. Correct, no? Isn't it? Instead of degree, father will take them back to village. So they want to do entertainment in life. But even if they are dutiful and responsible in material life and become a great success also, that will not give them anything in their spiritual life. They have to be reborn again and again. So if that is the case, instead of being only responsible in material life, why not be responsible in spiritual life, which paves you way for liberation? That is intelligence. Correct? Now, Uttishtata, Jagrata, Prapyavara, Nibodhata, he says. It is true that in the beginning part of your spiritual life, sometimes there may be challenges. But in our ISKCON moment, it is very jubilant even in the beginning also. Prabhupada says, how is the kitchen moment? You eat nice prasad, you dance, go for Harinam with devotees, celebrate festivals like Rath Yatra, Abhishekam and everything. And, there is dancing, there is singing. It's called Kevala Ananda Kanda. But even if somebody thinks, even in this they are chanting Hare Krishna, I have to chant fixed round, it's difficult. Okay, it's difficult, but it's a medicine. Your doctor gives you cough syrup, which is very tasty, but he gives you another medicine which is very bitter. But you have to take both. You can't tell the doctor, I will take only this medicine, I like it. It's not your choice. If you want to get cured, you have to take both. Some aspects of spiritual life are enjoyable for you, do them. But even those which you don't enjoy, like chanting Hare Krishna, reading Prabhupada's books, one has to do it as a medicine in the beginning. Eventually it will become blissful experience. Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki.
Hare Krishna devotees. So we'll meet again tomorrow. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Isopanishad ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.